The Canine Integumentary System. In this lesson, we will look at the anatomy and functions of the integumentary system and methods of maintaining the health of the integumentary system. All dogs have skin. The medical term for skin is integument, and it is the largest organ in the body. A dog's integumentary system is the body's outer layer, consisting of skin, hair, nails, and glands. The outermost layer of the skin consists of tightly packed cells that form a physical barrier, preventing pathogens, dirt, and other harmful substances from entering the body. Sebaceous glands in the skin secrete an oily substance called sebum, which forms a protective layer on the skin's surface. It helps lubricate the skin and inhibits the growth of certain bacteria. Skin is rich in sensory nerve endings that detect pain, temperature, pressure, and touch. This sensory function helps animals detect potential dangers and react accordingly. The skin assists regulation of the dog's temperature through sweat glands in the paws and nose, insulation through the coat, and through vasodilation and vasoconstriction of blood vessels. The integumentary system in dogs is composed of various structures that provide protection, support, and sensory functions. The canine integumentary system includes the skin, which is the largest organ in the body. It consists of multiple layers, including the epidermis, the outer layer, the dermis, which is the middle layer, and the subcutaneous tissue, which is called the hypodermis or innermost layer. The skin serves as a barrier against external threats, regulates temperature, and contains sensory receptors. Hair is an important component of the integumentary system. It provides insulation, protection, and helps in sensory perception. The type and density of hair, or fur, can vary among different dog breeds. Dogs have claws or nails on their toes. Nails are composed of keratin and serve various functions, including providing traction, digging, and defense. Regular nail care is essential to prevent discomfort or injury. Paw pads, also known as foot pads, are specialized structures on the bottom of a dog's feet that provide protection, support, and traction. The functions of the integumentary system are diverse and essential for maintaining the overall health and well-being of an organism. Here are the primary functions. Protection. The skin acts as a physical barrier that protects the body from external threats, including pathogens like bacteria or viruses, chemicals, physical trauma, and harmful UV radiation. It helps prevent the entry of microorganisms and foreign substances into the body. Thermoregulation. The integumentary system plays a key role in regulating body temperature. Sweat glands release sweat, which evaporates and helps cool the body in hot conditions. Blood vessels in the skin can dilate or constrict to regulate heat exchange with the environment. Sensation. The skin contains numerous sensory receptors that allow the detection of various stimuli such as touch, pressure, temperature, and pain. This sensory input is crucial for the organism's awareness of its environment. Excretion. Sweat glands in the skin assist in the elimination of certain waste products, such as salts and urea, contributing to the body's homeostasis. Immune defense. The skin acts as a physical barrier and also contains immune cells that help defend against pathogens. If the skin is breached, immune responses are initiated to prevent infection. Synthesis of vitamin D. Exposure to sunlight, UVB radiation, triggers the synthesis of vitamin D in the skin. Vitamin D is essential for calcium absorption and plays a vital role in bone health. Water regulation. The skin helps regulate water loss from the body, contributing to the maintenance of fluid balance. Hormone production. Sebaceous glands in the skin produce sebum, an oily substance that helps the skin and hair moisturized. Sebum also contains pheromones, which play a role in communication between individuals. Aesthetic and social functions. The appearance of the skin and its appendages, such as hair and nails, can have an aesthetic and social significance. In many species, including humans, grooming and personal care are important for social interactions. Collectively, these functions highlight the vital role of the integumentary system in maintaining the body's homeostasis and protecting it from external and internal challenges. A dog's skin, much like human skin, is a complex organ made up of several layers that serve various purposes. Skin appendages in dogs refer to structures that grow out of or are associated with the skin. Here are the primary layers of the skin. The epidermis is the outermost layer of the skin and acts as a protective barrier against the environment. It's made up of multiple sublayers and contains cells like keratinocytes that produce keratin, the protein providing strength and waterproofing to the skin. The dermis lies beneath the epidermis and is thicker. It contains blood vessels, nerve endings, hair follicles, sweat glands and sebaceous glands. This layer plays a significant role in regulating body temperature, sensing touch, and housing structures vital for hair growth. The hypodermis, also known as subcutis, is a layer composed mostly of fat and connective tissue. It attaches the skin to muscles and bones underneath. The hypodermis provides insulation, cushioning, and energy storage for the dog's body. Hair or fur. Dogs have hair covering their bodies, varying greatly in length, texture, and colour across breeds. Hair provides insulation, protection from the elements, and can serve as a sensory organ. Sebaceous glands are distributed throughout the skin and are connected to hair follicles and produce an oily substance called sebum. Sebum helps lubricate the skin and hair, keeping them moisturized and providing some protection against bacteria. In dogs, eccrine, merocrine, and apocrine glands are types of sweat glands that contribute to thermoregulation, scent communication, and skin health. However, unlike humans, dogs rely more on panting for cooling rather than sweating. Here's how these glands function in dogs. Erocrine, also known as merocrine glands, are found mainly on the paw pads and the nasal planum, which is the skin on the nose. These glands produce a watery secretion that helps with grip on surfaces and minor heat dissipation. Paw pad moisture can leave scent trails, contributing to a dog's ability to mark its territory. Apocrine glands are found throughout the skin, but concentrated around hair follicles. These glands produce an oily secretion that mixes with sebum to help with skin lubrication and scent communication. Apocrine glands produce pheromones that play a role in social interactions and identification. Dogs do not use sweat glands for cooling as effectively as humans do. Instead, they rely on panting and vasodilation. Their apocrine glands are more developed than their eccrine glands, which contributes to their unique body scent. Within the skin, there are sensory structures like nerve endings that allow dogs to sense touch, temperature, and pain. Hair follicles are structures that anchor hair to the skin and play a role in hair growth and shedding cycles. The integumentary system is well vascularized with blood vessels providing nutrients to the skin and assisting in temperature regulation. Erector pili muscles are attached to the base of the hair follicles, especially in guard hairs, also known as primary hairs. They contract in response to cold, fear, or excitement, causing the hair to stand up, which is called piloerection. They help to insulate the body by trapping air between hairs, improving warmth. They play a role in making the dog appear larger when threatened. Unlike in humans, where they cause goosebumps, in dogs, the erector pili muscles are more functionally significant for temperature regulation and communication, for example, raising hackles when a dog is alert or defensive. Dogs have paws, but they are not the same as human paws because dogs lack the widespread sweat gland paws that humans use for thermoregulation. Dogs have two types of paws. The hair follicle openings where sebaceous and apocrine gland secretions are released, and each hair follicle has associated sebaceous glands and apocrine glands. These secrete oils and pheromones that help with skin health and scent communication. They also have sweat gland paws, which are limited to paw pads and the nasal planum. These small openings release the watery secretion for minor cooling and grip. Dogs are less prone to clogged paws compared to humans because their skin has fewer sweat glands. Blocked hair follicles can lead to folliculitis or sebaceous cysts. Proper grooming helps maintain healthy skin by removing excess oil and debris from the follicle openings. Each layer of a dog's skin serves critical functions, from protection against external elements to sensory perception and maintaining body temperature. The skin's health is essential for a dog's overall well-being, and proper care such as regular grooming, cleaning and monitoring for any signs of skin issues or abnormalities is paramount. A healthy integumentary system contributes to a dog's overall well-being and can be indicative of their general health. A dog's hair has a complex structure that varies across breeds and serves multiple purposes. Here's an overview of its structure. The hair follicle. The hair follicle is the structure within the skin from which the hair grows. It's rooted in the dermis and extends through the epidermis. Blood vessels and nerves surround each follicle, supporting hair growth and providing sensation. The papilla. At the base of the hair follicle is the hair bulb or papilla. The papilla contains blood vessels that supply nutrients and oxygen to the growing hair. The hair shaft. The hair shaft is the visible part of the hair that extends beyond the skin's surface. It's composed mainly of a protein called keratin. The shaft can be divided into 3 layers. The cuticle. This is the outermost layer of the hair shaft. It consists of overlapping scale-like cells that protect the inner layers. The cortex. This is the middle layer that provides the hair with strength, colour and texture. It contains pigment granules responsible for hair colour. The medulla. Some dogs have a medulla, an innermost layer composed of cells which might be absent in finer or shorter haired breeds. Types of hair. Well, dogs have different types of hair, but all of them usually have 2 layers, either the guard hair or the top coat, which is more commonly referred to by dog groomers. This is the outer layer of longer, coarser hairs that provide protection against the environment. And the undercoat, the softer, denser layer of fur beneath the guard hair. It helps insulate the dog, keeping them warm in cold weather and cool in hot weather. Dogs have different types of hair. Guard hair, commonly referred to as topcoat. This is the outer layer of longer, coarser hairs that provide protection against the environment. Undercoat, the softer, denser layer of fur beneath the guard hair. It helps insulate the dog, keeping them warm in cold weather and cool in hot weather. And vibrissae, commonly referred to as whiskers. Vibrissae are tactile hairs on the face found around the muzzle, eyes and cheeks. Guard hairs, which are also known as primary hairs or topcoat, serve several important functions for dogs. These longer, coarser hairs provide protection and contribute to the overall health and well-being of the dog. Here are some reasons why dogs have guard hairs. Protection from the elements. Guard hairs help to protect a dog's skin from environmental elements such as sunlight, wind, rain and snow. They form a barrier that shields the dog from the harsh effects of weather, preventing excessive moisture or UV radiation from reaching the skin. Insulation. The guard hairs, along with the undercoat, help provide insulation by trapping air close to the body. This insulation is particularly important in colder climates, helping to maintain the dog's body temperature and keep them warm. Abrasion resistance. Guard hairs are often stiffer and more resistant to wear and tear than the softer undercoat. This provides a level of abrasion resistance, helping the dog navigate through vegetation or rough terrain without causing damage to the skin. Camouflage. In some wild or working dog breeds, the coloration and pattern of the guard hairs contribute to camouflage, helping the dog blend into its natural environment. This can be advantageous for hunting or other activities that require stealth. Sensory function. While not as sensitive as vibrissae, which are whiskers, guard hairs also contribute to the dog's sensory perception. They can detect changes in air currents and provide additional information about the dog's surroundings. Individual and breed characteristics. The presence, length and texture of guard hairs contribute to the overall appearance and individual characteristics of different dog breeds. The coat type is often a defining feature that distinguishes one breed from another. It's important to note that the specific characteristics of guard hairs can vary widely among dog breeds. Breeds with double coats, for example, have a combination of guard hairs and a softer undercoat, while other breeds may have a single coat dominated by guard hairs. Regular grooming and maintenance are often necessary to keep a dog's coat healthy, and the importance of guard hairs in maintaining a dog's overall well-being should be considered when caring for a pet. The undercoat in dogs, which can be known as the secondary coat, serves several important functions and plays a crucial role in a dog's adaptation to various environments. Here are some reasons why dogs have an undercoat. Insulation. One of the primary functions of the undercoat is to provide insulation. The dense, soft hairs of the undercoat trap air close to the dog's body, creating a layer of insulation that helps regulate body temperature. This is particularly beneficial in colder climates as it helps retain heat and keeps the dog warm. Thermal regulation. The undercoat helps dogs regulate their body temperature in different weather conditions. Like guard hairs, in colder weather, the undercoat traps heat, while in warmer weather it provides a buffer against the sun's rays, helping to keep the dog cooler. Water resistance. The undercoat can also contribute to the water-resistant properties of a dog's coat. Some breeds with a dense undercoat have fur that sheds water more effectively, helping to keep the dog dry in wet conditions. Protection from UV radiation. In addition to insulating against temperature extremes, the undercoat can offer some protection against the harmful effects of ultraviolet radiation from the sun. Seasonal shedding. Many dogs with a double coat, consisting of guard hairs and undercoat, undergo a seasonal shedding process. During shedding seasons, dogs may shed their undercoat to adapt to changing temperatures. This shedding process is often more pronounced in the spring and autumn. It's important to note that not all dog breeds have an undercoat, and the characteristics of the undercoat can vary widely among breeds. Breeds adapted to colder climates or those with a history of working in specific environments often have a well-developed undercoat. Regular grooming, including brushing to remove loose undercoat hairs, is often necessary to keep the coat healthy and prevent matting. Vibrissae, more commonly referred to as whiskers, are stiff long hairs that grow from specialized follicles that are connected to nerve endings and blood vessels, making them highly sensitive touch receptors. These specialized hairs serve several important functions for dogs. Sensory perception. Vibrissae are highly sensitive to touch because they are deeply embedded in the dog's body and connected to the nervous system. They can detect even the slightest changes in air currents, allowing dogs to sense nearby objects and navigate their environment in low light conditions. This is particularly useful for dogs that are active during dawn, dusk, or night time. Spatial awareness. Whiskers provide dogs with a sense of the space around them. The length and positioning of the whiskers help dogs to gauge the width of openings and assess the dimensions of objects, aiding in their spatial awareness. Touch sensitivity. Vibrissae are touch receptors, and they help dogs gather information about the texture and surface of objects when they come into contact with them. This tactile sensitivity is especially crucial for dogs when exploring their surroundings and interacting with other animals. Communication. Dogs may use their whiskers as a form of communication with other animals. For example, a dog may push its whiskers forward when investigating something new or approaching another dog. Similarly, pulling the whiskers back against the face may be a sign of fear or submission. Protective reflex. Whiskers can act as a protective mechanism. When a dog encounters an object or obstacle, the vibrissae can sense it before the rest of the body comes into contact. This allows the dog to react quickly to avoid collisions or potential harm. While whiskers are essential for a dog's sensory perception and overall well-being, it's important not to trim or cut them. Whiskers are deeply rooted and have nerve endings, so cutting them can be uncomfortable or disorienting for the dog. In general, it's best to let a dog's whiskers grow naturally and to be mindful of their importance in the dog's sensory experience. The vibrissae on this dog's right eye were caught with the clippers when his head was clipped, and this is against the Animal Welfare Act in Germany, Austria and Switzerland to cut off or clip vibrissae. To do so is classed as a temporary amputation because you have temporarily removed a part of its sensory perception. This dog's vibrissae were cut by accident, but whiskers are regularly clipped on breeds like poodles. Clipping vibrissae off a horse's muzzle has been banned in competitions for some time in the UK. So will the rules change for dogs in the UK? The cuticle is prone to damage and breakage, which results in split ends. Whenever you brush a dog's hair or take the dog for a walk, the dog is exposed to the sun or substances such as urine. The cuticle will then suffer damage. Damage can be minimised by ensuring the hair is nourished systemically and topically, which means through diet and through conditioning treatments, and by using conditioning and finishing sprays before brushing or walking the dog. As well as cleaning off the dirt and debris, shampoo strips the natural oils from the skin and coat during a bath, so always condition the coat when bathing to replace the lost moisture and prevent damage during grooming. There are 3 essential brushes you need in your toolkit as a dog groomer. The slicker brush is the brush that will remove tangles and is required for the initial brush out of a coat. After that initial brush out, you should switch to a pin brush because the slicker has the potential to cause coat damage and hair breakage, and even brush burn if used incorrectly. The pin brush will cause much less hair breakage and is gentler on the skin. This pin brush has wooden pins because metal can cause a buildup of static electricity which will create flyaways that make scissoring difficult. But more importantly, static electricity will cause the hair to become tangled and matted over time as it moves and creates friction. A scissor spray is useful to minimise this, or a finishing spray at the end of the groom. The third brush that is seldom used is a bristle brush. We mentioned that shampoo will strip natural skin oils during bathing, and the conditioner will help protect the hair and skin by replacing some of the lost moisture, and the bristle brush will go a step further by stimulating the sebaceous glands to produce new oils, and the bristles will also spread the oil along the hair shaft. The sebaceous gland also transports antioxidants in and on the skin and protects the skin from UV light. Sebaceous glands also possess an innate antibacterial activity and have a pro- and anti-inflammatory function. Remember that we want to avoid a static buildup, so nylon bristles must be avoided. Bristle brushes are best when they are made with boar hairs, such as the Chris Christensen one from Christie's Direct, as pictured here. The hair growth cycle. Hair goes through various growth phases. The anagen, that's the growth phase. Hair is actively growing from the follicle. Catagen, this is a transitional phase. Hair growth slows down and the follicle shrinks. Then we have the telogen, the resting phase. Hair stops growing and the follicles are dormant. At the exogen stage, old hairs are shed to make way for new hair growth. The shedding of hair during this phase is a natural part of the hair growth cycle and is replaced by the growth of new hairs by the anagen phase. Hair growth rate is the rate of hair growth which varies across breeds. Some dogs shed all year round, while others have seasonal shedding. Understanding a dog's hair structure is essential for grooming, maintaining coat health, and recognizing any abnormalities that might indicate underlying health issues. Regular grooming, including brushing and bathing, helps a dog's coat stay healthy and free from mats or tangles. Paw pads, also known as foot pads, are specialized structures on the bottom of a dog's feet that provide protection, support, and traction. The paw pads are composed of tough keratinized skin and are designed to withstand the wear and tear associated with a dog's daily activities, including walking, running, and digging. They serve several important functions. Protection. Paw pads protect the sensitive tissues and bones in a dog's feet from rough surfaces, sharp objects, and extreme temperatures. Traction. The textured surface of paw pads helps dogs maintain traction on different types of surfaces, preventing slips and falls. Cushioning. The pad structure acts as a shock absorber, providing some cushioning and support when a dog walks or runs. Thermoregulation. Paw pads play a role in thermoregulation by dissipating heat from the body, especially in hot weather. Sensory perception. Paw pads contain nerve endings that contribute to a dog's sense of touch and proprioception, which means awareness of body position and movement. Proper care of paw pads is essential to keep them healthy. This may include regular cleaning, moisturizing, and checking for any signs of injury, cracking, or irritation. Additionally, protecting a dog's paws during extreme weather conditions, such as hot pavements or cold snow, is important to prevent discomfort or injury. It's important to maintain skin health in dogs to ensure the skin's barrier's effectiveness in protecting a dog's body. Skincare can include the avoidance of harsh chemicals, providing a dog with a balanced diet, and promptly addressing any skin issues by consulting a vet. A healthy diet is crucial for systemic support for a dog's skin health. The essential nutrients needed include protein, which is essential for skin structure and repair. It provides amino acids necessary for building and repairing skin cells. Omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are crucial for maintaining healthy skin and a shiny coat. They help reduce inflammation and improve skin elasticity. Vitamins. We need vitamin A that supports skin cell and growth repair in a dog's diet. Vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, protecting skin cells from damage caused by free radicals. Vitamin D is important for skin health and overall immune function. There are minerals that are required, which include zinc. This supports skin healing and plays a role in the immune system. Copper, which helps in collagen production, aiding skin strength and elasticity. Selenium, which acts as an antioxidant, protecting skin cells. And skin needs water. Hydration is crucial for maintaining skin moisture and overall health. What should be included in a dog's diet as sources of these essential nutrients? For protein, found in high-quality animal-based sources include turkey, beef, and fish. For fatty acids, include fish oil, flaxseed oil, and certain plant oils are rich in these sources. Some dog foods also include these as supplements. Vitamins can be provided through a balanced diet including fruits and cooked vegetables that are safe for dogs, and fortified dog foods and liver and fish are all good sources of vitamin A. Minerals are found in meats, some vegetables, and whole grains. Commercial dog foods often contain minerals for balance. And finally, water. Ensure access to fresh, clean water at all times to keep your dog hydrated. A balanced diet that includes these nutrients in appropriate amounts is essential for maintaining healthy skin in dogs. It's always a good idea to consult with a vet or a canine nutritionist to ensure your dog's diet meets their specific needs. The waterproof barrier on the skin that's created by sebum acts as a protective shield against external factors by preventing the entry of harmful microorganisms, irritants, and environmental pollutants, which could otherwise compromise the integrity of the skin, as well as helping to retain moisture. But skin also protects the body with its role in the immune system. T cells are a type of white blood cell that originate in the bone marrow and mature in the thymus, where they are programmed to recognize the difference between body and pathogens. T cells then patrol the perimeter of the body and identify pathogens such as viruses, bacteria, fungi, parasites, and cancerous cells. If they encounter a threat or a perceived threat, they will trigger an immune response. The thymus is very large in puppies and it gets progressively smaller as dogs age and should not be confused with the thyroid gland. An owner is required to provide water and nutrition, to prevent parasitic infections or administer treatment when required, to attend grooming and veterinary appointments, and to maintain hair in between grooms and meet the dog's needs. A groomer should maintain hair and nail growth, clean skin and hair, and replace any lost moisture, stimulate sebaceous glands through grooming, and maintain coat health and remove any knots, keep paws free of excess or matted hair, and keep records of health checks and alert the owner to any abnormalities or changes. A vet is able to diagnose health conditions, provide prescriptions for medicine, and perform surgery.